All right, I'm so excited for you guys to be here right now. I had to do a lot of Zoom open mics, and those are awful. Nobody ever fucking laughs on Zoom. I do a joke, nobody laughs. I have to ask, hey, did you guys unmute your mics? Give me some here. I like y'all sitting in a row, look like a bunch of Cabbage Patch Kids. Do you guys like the cones? I stole them from an elementary school gym class. Something about me, my girlfriend is a horse girl. Yeah, she loves horses for some reason. And you know, the sex is all right. I don't like wearing the saddle though. We get in fights, but I can usually smooth things over pretty quickly. Like, oh, easy. Apple? Thank you. She's my girlfriend. No, but my best friend's getting married, and I just hate the word fiance. It's always me and my fiance this, me and my fiance that. If you don't know, fiance is a fancy word for girlfriend, or sometimes pregnant. I think there should be a word for fiance for when you're dating and you know you're going to break up soon. Like, oh, hi Charlie, this is my fiance. Who's this? Oh, this is not working. My girlfriend and I went to Sonic recently, and I just wanted to say hi to one of my coworkers I know used to work there, or she works there. I used to work with her. I went to say hi, and the waitress rolled up. I said, hi, is Claire working? That's totally a stripper name, by the way. And she said, I'll be right back. Next thing I know, the manager comes out and says, hey, who the fuck are you? Why are you asking these goddamn questions? Why the fuck are you here in my restaurant? I said, all right, restaurant, that's a stretch, first of all. Second of all, I used to work with her. I just want to say hi. He said, oh, you're a stripper? Fucking knew it. And he said, I'm sorry. He said, we've just had a stalker situation recently. I was like, do I look like a fucking stalker? I ordered off the kids menu. And yeah. He said that there's somebody that would come once a week and tip Claire $500, but then you'd follow her home. And I don't want to sound insensitive, but $500, I could put up with a little bit of stalking. I was the best man at my brother's wedding. You know, I think it's funny. I think weddings are funny because nobody gives a fuck about the groom, and you can tell because there is another guy that gets to be called the best man. I was the best man at my brother's wedding. That was horrible for everybody involved. Bombing immediately. I had one good joke at my brother's wedding. I said, you know, I knew him my whole life. He was like a brother to me. Everything after that flopped. I started getting heckled by ants on both sides. My uncle was there. My uncle's funny because his whole thing is he wants to adopt. But here's the thing. His wife cheats on him, gets pregnant with another dude, and they get divorced. So what the fuck? He wanted to adopt. My grandpa was there too. He's a big gun guy. He visited one time, we got breakfast, and he leaned over the table and said, hey Charlie, how about, you want a gun? I said, I'm thinking more of the French toast here. And I went home, I told my girlfriend, hey, my grandpa offered to give me a gun. And I said yes, and she said, oh, what the fuck? You don't like guns, I don't like them, what the hell are you thinking? I said, what the fuck was I supposed to do? He had a gun. My grandpa's kind of funny. I've been to his house. In the garage, he's got a locked and loaded hunting rifle in case any deer break in. And he's got about 10 handguns on the wall. But here's the thing about my grandpa. He's only got 2 hands. All right, thank you. You guys don't have to like me. I've got about 10 more people who are way better than me.
This fucking sucks, dude. Look at me, man. I look like a fucking surgeon about to announce that, like, all of your family members are dead. They died in surgery. I'm sorry. I am not a surgeon, so I couldn't save them. I'd like to start off my set by saying that the homophobia makes Chick-fil-A taste better. It's like, you know it's wrong, but it just makes it that enticing, right? Like, it's a sin, but the sin you were committing is premarital sex, right? Like, you can't refuse it. How could you? You're a fat little slut, all right? And as my dad likes to say, does this fat little slut like his chicken sandwich with one fucking single pickle, huh? Eat up, you fat fuck. Eat up, you fat fuck is like a really good slogan for every restaurant chain in America. Because it just like pertains to their one demographic, fat little sluts. It's honest, what can I say? You know, speaking of honesty, right? You ever seen like tombstones have like little descriptors of like the person that passed away, right? Like John Smith, husband, brother, and son. Like that's nice, but like I want something that's like more accurate, like John Smith, diabetic landlord. You're like, oh fuck, who would write this shit? That's nasty. But like there's something about that unremarkability, right? That averageness, that sort of like paints a picture of human life. Because let's face it, you and I are subject to a life of mediocrity, right? All of us here are gonna die being the assistant to the regional manager. I'm serious. We're not gonna ascend the fucking corporate ladder. I mean, you're here at a fucking open mic in the middle of a field on Saturday night, listening to me, the biggest loser of them all. It's also like, you can't really decide what you're remembered for, which is kind of weird. Like, my grandma lived a full life, or so I'm told, right? But the only like memory I have of her is her like slapping the shit out of my brother when he pissed in the sink. It's actually pretty impressive. I don't know why she slapped him, right? Like, he was like 4 feet at the time, right? So he couldn't even see over the countertop. He had to like fucking arc that shit like Stephen Curry of piss. I'm Seth Curry, I miss everything, so. I don't know. The apartment that I live in, right, has like a very thin ceiling, so I can hear the girls that live above us like constantly. And it's not that bad because like they're not really interesting or loud, but they just like pipe up in the worst situations possible. Like the other day, like my dad called to tell me that a family member had died, right? So when I hung up the phone and I'm just like basking in my quiet silence and grief, I just hear from upstairs like, oh my god, I can't believe I ate the whole bag. That's insane. It's like, god damn it. Melanie, I'm trying to grieve about my grandma. I don't give a fuck about your Fritos. Jesus Christ. I don't know, man. It's really messed up. Because, like, I've been trying to treat it like some sort of a reality TV show, right? Because sometimes they, like, speak up at random times. And you kind of have to make the most of it, right? So it's like, next time on The Girls from Upstairs, Melanie goes to the wrong Buffalo Wild Wings? It's like, yo, my god, dude, these girls are crazy. That's insane. Or like, next time on The Girls from Upstairs, Jessica gets HPV. It's like, I knew I was taking a risk when I hooked up with that guy that I found in a back alleyway snorting coke off of a trash can. But it's been a few dry months, and let's face it, I'm a risk taker. All right, that fucking set went terribly. All right, I'm done. Thank you.
So, tonight, we're gonna get to know me a bit. And I'm standing here today because 5 years ago, I didn't have any aspirin. Now, I'm a big believer in things, you know? I'm a big supporter in human suffering, which naturally means I'm a Republican.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding. What I actually prefer is to pretend to care about human suffering but doing nothing about it, which I guess would make me a Democrat. Nah, I'm just kidding. Now, I've been trying to get involved in Purdue, specifically in comedy, because I made the false assumption that I was funny. Now, I went to this audition for an undisclosed comedy group, and on my way there, I was just walking down the street, getting myself mentally prepared, and I look down, and I see a used condom on the ground. Now, when I first saw that, I was like, why? Why is this here? And it got me thinking, and got me thinking too much, because I came up with this very weird, elaborate story about a man down on his luck, walking down the street, going to Subway, because yes, he is at that low of a point in his life. And he reaches into his pocket, makes sure he has the money, and he feels something inside there, something wet and crusty. And he pulls it out, and he's like, hello, condom, my old friend. Now, dude, are you really doing this? Yes, condom, I think it's about time we end this. Really? What about all the fun times we had together? It's like, those weren't fun times. Really? What about that one night when you came into me 3 times? What was that girl's name? It wasn't a girl. I was just by myself. With my hand. Thinking about my mom. But, bruh, come on. You've came into me more times than you can count. That's the problem, okay? Dude, I love you. I wish my dad told me that. Really? Bruh, are you judging me? Not really, I'm judging myself. Bruh, you're going to fucking Subway. You're gonna be eating pedophile sandwiches. Yeah, you kind of have a point. Why am I taking this shit from you? You're just a fucking condom. So, this shit again. Oh, I'm just a fucking condom. What do I know? I don't have sentience. It's like, you know what? I think it's about time we end our partnership. Really? This? You know what? I don't even know you. And he throws it down. Walks off. Someone picks it up. Excuse me, sir. You dropped this. No. The old me dropped it. And I got too caught up in that story. Because someone walked up behind me, grabbed my shoulder. Hey, what you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm walking towards an audition. He's like, nah, you were looking at a condom for 30 minutes. So, I go into this audition, and as it started, I realized something. Everyone here is so funny and so talented. I'm sitting in my chair thinking, fuck. God damn it. Why can't you guys just suck for once, okay? Why does everyone have to be so goddamn funny? And there was this one fucking asshole who gave the funniest bit you could think of. It involved giving CPR to a hamster with his dick. Don't ask me. And the build-up was perfect. And this entire time, I was thinking, fuck you. Dude, come on. Why are we doing this? And then it happened. One chick rolled up. And when she said, look, I don't think people should have rights. I'm like, man, a woman after my own heart. She did not appreciate the follow-up conversation we had, to say the least. And man, I thought the set would be funny. I don't know about it. Good night.
All right.
All right, y'all motherfuckers ready? All right, so this is my first time, so like if I shit my pants, don't laugh at me, please. It already happened once. That'll be for another time. So anyways, this will be the first impression you guys have of me, and same with these people. This is my first time doing comedy. I was forced into this by gunpoint by that bitch right there. Anyways, first impressions, I would like to say I'm a pretty good expert at it. Let me give you guys an example. So I'm an RA at Hilltop. If you didn't know by, I'm very mature and blah, blah, blah. And earlier in training, we had these new people, and I was just chilling out doing what I'm doing. And this new baby RA says, oh my God, are you queer? And I'm talking to someone else, and I fucking whip my head. I stare at her goddamn eyes. I look into her soul and say, motherfucker, you fucking racist? That's the other Asian bitch. Fuck off. I know, motherfucker, racist, whatever. Anyways, of course, Purdue promotes inclusion and all that, so I think I did my job really well, because the next day she quit. I'm just kidding. Or am I don't know, don't worry about it. Anyways, another very brief time of my excellent first impression skills was when I met my best friend, 6 years, love her, she's at home, yada yada yada. The way I met her was at a Halloween party. I was pretending to be a cripple with crutches because that makes everybody laugh, haha, disabled people. No, that's not funny, don't laugh, you're a terrible person, don't laugh at that. Anyways, the first time I met her, I fucking lunged at her and I choked her down here, and I'm like, hi, nice to meet you, I'm Claire. So as you can see, I'm very good with first impressions. But enough about my expertise and everything, because I know I'm really good, like, I don't need no more smoke up my ass. So, my first impressions of other people, that is also interesting, maybe. So, guys, we all know that there's more of them than us women at Purdue, because it just be like that. That's the way the world works. The issue is, when I go down Purdue Memorial Mall, I'm like walking down and stuff, and I see a group of guys, and they're like, over here, you know, sports, you know, my dick's big, even though it's really not, blah, 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 ooga booga. So, the issue is, they take out their hand right here, and they adjust their dick. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I didn't sign up for this. I didn't pay fucking $40K to see this. So, I know. So I look to my right, and there's another guy who fucking adjusting his dick while he's eating a burger or some shit. Like, that's unhygienic, and I didn't sign up for it. And I'm really worried that if I try to look down and just walk, some guy's gonna slide in, show me his, well, not show me, but move his fucking dick around. I don't know. In my head, I imagine the guys that wake up, brush their teeth, if they even do that, and then they adjust their dick, like, ugh. And then they go over here, they go to class, study a little bit, not actually, take their pencil, itch their dick, adjust it. They go on a date. Hey, baby girl, what's up? Can I get your number? Let me adjust my dick first. It's like, guys, fuck. There's something called a bathroom. You can go in it privately, or there's something called like a fucking corner somewhere. Because you don't see girls going around like, my coochie itches, and then like take a fat squat, use their hand and itch their coochie. No, you don't. It's common decency, guys, okay? So anyways, besides guys, because I love equality, you know, 2020 progressive, please vote, don't want to step on that. Women, sororities, more importantly, because haha, yay, sorority squad, right? So the first time I had the impression of sororities, I was actually a freshman walking down back to Earhart. I lied, I'm not that tall as a freshman, I'm like down here because I'm Asian, right? So I'm walking down, just minding my own business. No, these are nice pants. Minding my own business, walking down, and I'm like, what the fuck is that smell? Fuck! And I turn around, and there's a group of these rushy sorority bitches. I'm like, I smell their privilege. It's too fucking strong. Fuck, I'm gonna die! And so, thank you. So I'm walking, and like, I'm short as fuck. I'm like 5'3", so down here, and I'm trying to rush ahead of them. But they're fucking 6 feet tall with their long ass string cheese legs, and I can't like compete with that. I'm like, shit, I'm gonna die. Because they're all wearing white, they're in a fucking cluster, I can't see. When I look behind me, it's so goddamn blinding, like, ah! And they're also going like, ooga, booga, ooga, like, coming for my ass. So who here has seen Avatar? Okay, thank you. Anyways, sure. Anyways, it's like my ancestors are zinging these memories into my soul because I feel threatened, and they're like, you need to know this because it's important. And so the memory they're giving me is in the rice field in colonial ages. This is my ancestor down low, like, oh, picking the rice. And then like I hear the big bad colonial white people go like, give me your rice. And I'm like, no please, I have family, I try to pick as hard as possible. And they're like, I don't give a fucking shit, give me your fucking rice. And they're like, and I'm like, no please, I have family, I have child. So like, whatever. I'm getting those like traumatic memories inside of my brain while I'm walking and everything. I'm like, fuck. And they're coming closer, like, they're not gonna touch me because I'm dirt. Because I guess my skin's dark enough for dirt, it's not. And they don't wanna get their white clothes tainted and stuff because they gotta wait till when they get initiated in, then they're not pure and then they get corrupt and fucked consensually, of course. So anyways, they're going around me, and I'm like, fuck, I can smell their like Victoria's Secret daddy issue perfume, fuck. So I fucking yeet myself into the street because I'd rather get hit by a car than crucified by these white bitches for their pledge fucking whatever the fuck it is. So I think that's it for me.
Jokes about race tonight because, you know, they might be so abusive that I'd get mistaken for a cop. Virginity is a really weird concept. Like, I don't understand why the concept of like virginity's this like sought after thing. Like virginity covers a wide array of people and a wide array of years. Like babies are virgins. Why would that be hot? So like I was thinking about virginity, as one does, naturally. And I was thinking, you know, to die a virgin, one of two things has to happen. You either have to be tragically unattractive or die at a tragically young age. And don't worry, fellow engineering students, dying in college is still tragically young. Like, I was also thinking about it, and like part of the Muslim religion is like, there's a small bit that said, if you're good, you go to heaven and you're met with 72 virgins. But I really wonder if they expect all their virgins to, you know, be of age at the time, you know? Also, it does say dark-haired virgins. So once again, the Aryan race is safe. All right, I've always wanted like a GPS, but instead of being like your normal turn left here, you know, it was just like a bitchy girlfriend, you know. It's like you forget a turn. It's like you never listen to me. All right, and it goes through every time you haven't followed their directions, but in the process of doing that, it also misses the next turn. But it says, you know what? It's fine that I missed that, because you wouldn't have listened to me anyways, all right? I don't know. I think it's quite weird to think that porn stars had a life outside of porn, you know? Like I wonder if like teachers in school were ever just like, you know what? He's gonna be a doctor, you know? He's good with math. He'll be an engineer. And she's had 5 boyfriends in a matter of 5 weeks, and we're in 6th grade. So she'll be doing something. Also, like, it's weird to think, like, porn stars, they have fathers, you know? And like, I wonder if there's ever been a father who just, you know, like, just pulled up a porn site and sees his daughter and he's just like, oh, that's a shame. It's a shame her mother never looked that good. That's all I got.
Yo, what is up, guys? My name is Vaishakh. A lot of people tell me that my name is super cool, and I get it, you know, sounds pretty cool. And I want to say the same thing back to a lot of people, except like the people that tell me that, it's named like Jack, and I don't want to lie, you know. Yeah, but this is how I imagine the conversation would go. Like, Jack would be like, yo, Vaishakh, your name is super cool. And I'd be like, yo, dude, your name is super cool too. Didn't know you were named after like that hero. And he'd be like, yo, I don't know who you're talking about. And you gotta be specific, you know, a lot of weird Jacks running around, Jack the Ripper, Jack. But I'd be like, yeah, that guy, you know, he traded his livelihood for a bunch of beans. He like planted them and he stole like a goose and he cut down a big tree and a tall guy died. And then, yeah, only cool Jack I can think of, you know. Yeah, this is how I actually imagine the story went. Jack was like walking around with his cow and he gets a couple beans in exchange for a cow and he's like, yo, you know, I could go for some beans right now. And he, on the trip back home, you know, he decides to take them because he was hungry. Little did he know, beans is slang on the street for LSD. So the trip back home really was a trip. Haha puns. Yeah, I live in Hillenbrand Hall right now. People ask me how it is living in Hillenbrand. I tell them, you know, this is how I like to describe it. I tell them that there's an equal mix of like cockroaches and freshmen, which is true. You know, the cockroach to freshman ratio is pretty solid. The guy to girl ratio though is pretty bad. How I like to think of it is it's basically the freshman to cockroach ratio, except all the freshmen use Raid as deodorant in the morning. Yeah, the hardest part of school in my opinion is definitely units. I think units are pretty hard because Yeah, they're pretty hard. I don't know. But converting units. If converting units was a job, it'd be called like engineering. Here are a couple units. You got teaspoon, you got tablespoon, but you also have dessert spoon, or as I like to call it, a little bit more of that. Here's a unit you probably have never heard of, avoid the puss. It's derived from French, and it's basically what engineers do on a daily basis. Thank you for laughing. Something I've been hearing recently, save the manatees. I totally support the manatee movement. I like water, oceans. But I think something a lot of people don't know is what exactly a manatee looks like. So I can give you a quick visualization of that. Imagine you were super hungry and you went to like an Indian restaurant because you want to get food that goes like straight through, and they ask you what you want to drink, and you're like, yo, can you mix like some flax seeds with prune juice? Like everything somebody that's like over 56 would use to like clear out their bowels. And you go home, you're chilling. The curry was like hella spicy. It was basically like if chili was a curry, that's what the curry tasted like. It just tastes like chili. And like you're at home chilling, and you have the urge to take a shit, and you go to take a shit, and from the outside it sounds insane. It's like Pearl Harbor, splashes, explosions, people screaming. On the inside it's just as painful, but it ends pretty smooth, and you're about to go and flush, but you take that last peek, just to see what it looks like, and that's what a manatee looks like. All right, thank you guys. That's
So hi guys. So I think we all know we're in college. Teenagers are fucking horny, man. It doesn't matter if you're at sleepaway camp, it doesn't matter if you're at college, it's the same. You got Tinder, you got the people with, I'm an aspiring MILF in their bio, which, cool, you're 16, why? And then every now and then you got like that little bit of spice. You got the, I'm down to fuck, but only if you message me first on Bumble, which really throws you off, because you're like, you know the point of this, right? But, yeah, I was exposed to this at like a very young age, though. I realized this, because, like I said, sleepaway camp in college, same fucking thing. You got a bunch of horny teenagers on a campus, and they're trapped. So, you got people, and it took me a while to realize that college is a little different from real life, because, or rather, the camps are different from real life, and it's a little weird, because the Jewish camp, which normally has different connotations, they got it. But like it took me like a few years to realize that getting fingered in the woods behind a bunk is not normal, especially if you're a dude. I mean, look, that's just how it rolls. But even weirder is just like the attitude people have towards it. Because like you're at camp, people are like, hey yo, who'd you do? Not what'd you do? Who? But you can't say that in public. You got to be like, beat around the bush a little, especially at college. You can't just be like, hey, I know you. You live here. You haven't been back in a while. Who'd you do? You gotta say like, so do anything fun last weekend? It's all about the approach. But yeah, and it's just from stories people hear, it's ridiculous. Like well, just going back from a friend's place in Peeville the other night, and let's just say I was not the most sober. And I have zero self-preservation, so 3 a.m., headphones full blast, as one does, and I'm walking up Slater Hill. And you know how there's graves right by Slater Hill? There's trees on the other side of those graves, and right by those trees is where I was. And I'm walking up Slater Hill, and for some reason I decide I should turn around. And you see something that's not normally there, and it's 3 a.m., your first thought is, whatever, I could die. No. You walk over, you approach it, and then you hear, hey there, how's it going, man? And then you see someone underneath that guy. 20 feet from the fucking graves on top of Slater. What do you do in that case? I mean, do you say, need another? Anyways, that's all I got. It's great seeing y'all out.
All right. So, thank you. You're so kind. I love y'all. Outstanding. Anyway, this summer, I was given the opportunity to sell my soul to capitalism. That was fun for a lot of reasons. Mainly because I got to see what it's like to run on 2 hours of sleep, 600 milligrams of caffeine, and the can-do attitude for 6 days a week. And you're thinking, Chance, that doesn't sound healthy. And you know what? You're right. But you shouldn't knock until you try it. So I'm gonna walk you through what it's like to take roughly 7.5 cups of coffee worth of caffeine at once. All right, stage 1, you pop your 3 pills, nothing happens, okay? The way you feel is the exact same way an 80-year-old man feels after he pops 4 Viagras and he's praying for a half chub, all right? He's sitting there thinking, you know what? Martha has been in the mood for 6 months. I failed my last prostate exam. I need this to work, all right? God, I have not been a good man. I have not been a holy man. But help me sin just one last time. We'll sort it out real soon, I promise, all right? Stage 2, it all kind of starts coming together, all right? Caffeine, it's kind of subtle, all right? You kind of start feeling good. You're doing a little dance, you're singing a little bit, and you start to think, maybe I don't hate myself. Maybe, possibly. Let's not get wild, but maybe. And the next thing you know, you're skipping down the dairy aisle. You're having a great time. You could outbox Muhammad Ali, you could sniff more kids than Joe Biden, you could fuck more porn stars than Donald Trump all at the same time, all right? You are, at this point, you are built different, all right? And then you hit stage 3. Stage 3 is where God sees you. He notices you. He sees you're about to break every law of thermodynamics at once, and he's got to stop you, okay? So he hits you with the strictest punishment he can. That's why I send you straight to hell, same day shipping, all right? And you become violently aware of 2 things. Number 1, you're going to stop, you're going to take your hands, hold it over your chest, and you're going to ask yourself out loud, has it always been beating that fast? The answer is no. No, you are this close to having a heart attack. Number 2, you have to shit so bad. So bad. It doesn't matter when the last time you went is. It doesn't matter how much you've been eating. There is a 6-pound McDonald's baby, okay? It is 2 weeks overdue. You gotta go now. But the thing is, this is a divine punishment that no earthly cure can solve. Because it doesn't matter how hard you sit there and you squat and you strain, it's not coming out, all right? And you're on the clock, you don't have time for this shit. So you're gonna stand up, you're gonna tighten your glutes, and you're gonna outrun the heart attack because you got places to be and things to do, all right? And finally, after about an hour of that, you hit stage 4. Stage 4, everything kind of calms down. The cocaine wears off, your heart chills out, the mystery baby disappears, you are not the father, thank God. And okay, so you're moving a little slower than usual, but minimum wage, minimum effort, it's no big deal. And you kind of hate yourself, but like, and that's just how it is. I can look out, and I see some of y'all are not entirely convinced. So I'm gonna tell a story, all right? And this was on a Thursday, and I am solidly in the middle of stage 3, all right? Your boy is going through it. And this man walks up to me and says, hey, I have a question, it's kind of weird. Sir, this is a Walmart. Everything's weird, this is my job, how can I help you? And he goes, I'm going out to X tonight, I need to buy her flowers, what do you recommend? And if you're like me, you have 3 questions. Number 1, what do you mean you're going out with your ex? That's not how this works. This is a terrible idea from the start. Number 2, I make $11 an hour. This is not $11 an hour question, this is a therapist question. Who do you think you are, okay? Number 3, you mean to tell me you fucked that famous girl once. You're about to do it again, and you still don't know her favorite flower. This is not, you're not doing well, all right? But the caffeine is still in me, all right? The spirit of customer service is upon me. I'm gonna try to help this man. So you're thinking, right? Roses or daisies, lilies or orchids. The thing is, his mouth is now asking me, so like, you know, carnations or geraniums. But his eyes have a different story to tell. His eyes are going, Coors or Keystone, Fireball or Jack Daniels. So I look this man dead in the face, and I go, sir, alcohol is in aisle 2, down the right. Good luck. And I sprint to the bathroom, all right? I'm out of there. And you're thinking 2 things. You're thinking, number 1, Chance, you should have been fired on the spot. And again, you're right. Number 2, you just did this man so dirty, all right? He was gonna have the best rebound sex before he got dropped. You stole this happiness from this man, but you're wrong. Because I walked out of that bathroom disappointed, and I saw this man leaving checkout aisle, and he had a shopping cart full of not 1 flower. He had 4 handles of Smirnoff, 3 cases of Keystone, and a smile on his face. And so did I. And then my manager pages me. Thanks, y'all.
Hi. How's it going? Yeah. So I'm G, and I'm not from here. In fact, I'm from the States at all. So I moved to Wichita, Kansas about 3 years ago, and then my first impression of the state is just amazing. Like everything's big. You got big campus, big farms, big houses, and big people. Like lots of big people in Kansas. So my first American friend, it's called Sam. Why not? So Sam was like what, 5'4", and he was like 300 pounds. So he's like square. He's big, and I was like, I wasn't even this tall. I was like that, and then I was skinny as hell. I was like a stick figure, and Sam was like, "Bro, you gotta go lifting. Like, if you wanna get attention from the girls or guys, whatever you like, you gotta go lifting." I was like, "Okay, man." So the next day we went to the gym, and then I was like 14 or 15, and then like the first day in the gym, like just walking, like everything's so new to me. I was just walking around, and then like it's one guy, he's buff, like he's freaking big. He walks like that. I was just looking at him, and he was looking at me at the same time. You know, I was like skinny as hell, like stick figure, and he was looking at me. I was scared, man. Like, you know, he was just so big, and then he was like, "What the fuck are you looking at, you skinny ass bitch?" I was like, "Okay, man. Like, I'm just, you know, going this way." And yeah, and then Sam taught me how to bench and how to squat, and I was struggling with the bar. Okay, it was no fun, and I want to get out there. You know, like first impression of lifting, it was bad. So I was like, "Bro, like, I gotta go, man." And then Sam was like, "No, you gotta wait." And I was like, "Yeah, let me get out. Yeah, I gotta take a shit." And then, so when I was about to walk out, 2 girls walking. I can wait. Yeah, I can stay. Yeah, I would just stay with it. Yeah. And then, and they were cute. Okay. So Sam and me were just like looking. And then these 2 girls, like their leggings are so tight, and they each have to walk like that. Because if they walk any faster, they're gonna rip it. And then, yeah, and Sam was like, "Now that's lifting." Like, "Yeah, bro, like, yeah, I'm lifting. I'm lifting in my pants, bro." Yeah. So, I mean, if you go to the gym, not just girls want to show off their body, right? Like, guys want to do it too. But mostly, like, men want to show off their upper, and girls want to show off their ass. Like, I mean, I get it. I mean, I like it, you know, I enjoy it. But, yeah. And then, so, yeah, when girls want to show off their, you know, lower body, they wear leggings. And leggings works for guys, and I mean, leggings works for girls because they don't have the package. And one time I saw a guy, he's wearing the leggings. Like, man, heck no. Like, I can see a ball's hanging in my face, man. Like, thank you for wasting your time.
Just in case the mic coughs back at me. Man, all these sex jokes, I don't get it. Hello everybody, my name is Nathan Sanders. I am a junior here in aerospace engineering. I chose Purdue because I wanted to follow in the footsteps of, oh man, I can't remember his name. I wish Purdue would remind me for the 151st time. Yeah, so I was talking to a coworker the other day, won't mention who, but they're getting a major in user experience design. I thought that was fantastic because Brightspace could really use help in user experience design. Well, it turns out they're also getting a lot of minors, one in French, one in psychology, the study of the time after the prank, computer science, and math. I mean, if they had any more minors, they all have to open up like a, I don't know, a Nike factory in a third world country or something. Oh, man. I'm so glad we're wearing all these masks and stuff, but unlike the face masks before COVID, these do not lead to clear skin and do not involve slices of cucumber.
It is nice to be back at Purdue, though, because doing all my online classes at home just wouldn't be the same. Man, I actually started at Yale. Yeah, my parents would yell at me to get out of bed and do something with my life. Yeah, my dad probably wears his Harvard Law School shirt all the time. He never's actually been to Harvard, but he wears it just the same. Yeah, so I actually decided to call into a radio station once, but I didn't want to do it as me, so I decided to take on a persona of Rick Butler. Yeah, okay. So I call in, but it went totally bad because I'm not very good with lying. And so I call in and I say, hey, is this the radio station? I go, yes. Is this Nathan Sanders? No, this is Rick Butler. Okay, Rick, we're on a music break right now. Call back in 10 minutes. So I wait a little bit, and this other guy, Randall, comes on and tells some funny story. And I think, oh man, I gotta get this together. And I gotta not use caller ID this time. So I do that little star 67 thing, and I call in, and now I call in and I say, hey, this is Mike. And they go, hey, Mike. And they say, hey, and they say, are you a part of PSUCC or stand-up comedy? No, I just got this number from somewhere else. And when they say, oh, where'd you get it from? I said, well, group me. I said, what group me? Nathan, group me? You mean like a group me full of people just named Nathan? Yeah. Didn't you say your name was Mike? Mike Nathan? So I just told a couple of jokes and got off. So lesson learned, I should probably withdraw my job application from the CIA. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. I actually had to try to get a job because I lost my job at doorknob repair company. I don't know why, though. I thought I had a pretty good handle on it. I recently got a call from a bike repair company. I thought it was about a job to be a salesperson, but apparently that's not what they meant when they said they wanted to be their spokesperson. At least I don't have to peddle their goods. Oh man, you guys, I mean, if laughter is contagious, these masks must be doing a pretty good job. You guys got about the average positivity rate of North Korea. Some laughter here and there, but it dies out pretty quick. So I had to get some batteries from 3rd Street Market, some AA batteries. And just 2 AA batteries was $7.89. But the 4-pack next to it was $6.49, which means that I could get 2 more batteries for $1.40 less. It really makes me wonder how good those batteries must be if Energizer doesn't know how much to charge. I guess somebody in the sales department did not get a math minor. I also had to go to a Starbucks the other day, and I wanted to get us a coffee, but I can never remember all the different cups and stuff. And so I asked the barista to explain them to me, and so she did, and they really, really don't make it easy. Just memorizing the different sizes is no small feat. It truly is a tall order. That's all I got for tonight. I hope you enjoyed.
Thank you. I'll pass a little bit of experience. What the fuck is up? Pretty damn good. How you doing? Okay. I like to start off with fuck COVID-19 and fuck 2020. Woo! 2020 has been such a hell of a year. There's so much shit I can cover. I mean, rest in peace Kobe, rest in peace Chadwick. You know, it's just so much shit going on. And the world stopped. There wasn't much to do. Everything was boring as fuck. And I'm just glad we're back. I miss stand-up comedy most of all. You know, I'm glad we're back doing it in person and shit, so we're fucking here. With that being said, I hate telling people I do stand-up comedy. Because I always tell them I do stand-up comedy, and the next question would be, well, if you're so funny, tell us a joke. And it's not like I have funny shit going through my mind 24/7. So, if anything, I have on my mind 24/7, how can I get laid? So I tell them a joke and it's a bad one, and they make exceptions, and it's not fair. It's like, you don't go up to a bodybuilder and say, here, nigga, do a push-up. Or go up to a basketball player and say, here, dunk this ball real quick. Or if someone said they were a porn star, suck my dick. You know what's funny? I don't get a thing about porn stars. Like, I don't understand how you can do 10 to 15 minutes of foreplay and this son of a bitch still isn't hard. Like, I sit down on the bed next to my girl, she takes her sock off, I'm rock solid and ready to go. And another thing is, how are they so good at sex? Especially when it comes to what to say. Like, I feel like such a fucking idiot saying shit like, whose pussy is this? Who's daddy? Because deep down inside, I know this isn't my pussy. It's like, the girls I fuck with, I'm renting that pussy for 10 to 15 minutes. Just playing, I don't last that long. That is community pussy right there. You know, another thing I don't get about porn stars is how they make these young ladies come so many times, dude. I try to make my girl come and I'll be on my last 1 to 2 pumps and I'm sitting there like, please come, do the roar, do the roar. And you know, stand-up comedy is a little bit like sex if you think about it. Except if I come up here and I tell bad jokes, I'm gonna feel fucked up. But if I go out there and I fuck a girl and I don't make her come, I'm not gonna care. It's just one of those things, you know? It's like what Benjamin Franklin once said, there are a few uncertain things in life, but something that is certain is that death, taxes, and the fact that I'm going to get my nut in regardless. You know, Mia Khalifa recently stopped doing porn, and she's acting now. And it really fucking sucked for a number of reasons. One being, I'm a huge fan, so I'm pretty bummed out about that shit, you know? And she's in her prime, and she's quitting early. And the thing is, she fucking sucks at acting, so I don't get why would she want to do that, but who knows? You know what that's like? That's like Michael Jordan quitting basketball to go play baseball in his prime. Which, ironically enough, that nigga sucked at baseball too. Speaking of porn, you know, I was doing some late night research, right? And it turns out that George Floyd actually did porn. And boy, do I gotta say, that nigga had a weapon on him after all. God, was he blessed. Yeah, but I mean, I've been to a lot of Black Lives Matter rallies around campus, and I've been noticing things. It really took me by surprise, something I didn't expect. I expected to see an ocean of the 30 black people we have on campus. But instead, I see people of so many different races and colors all coming together in unity for one cause, and it makes me feel good, it makes me feel warm inside. So, I have one question I want to leave with you all, specifically the white girls in the audience. What are you willing to do for Black life tonight? Thank you for having me. I go by the name of Franko.
It's so sad that Cooper Kim died of COVID. Our fearless leader gone too soon. Well, now we know. Anyways, I'd like to get down to brass tacks. I assume all of you are familiar with the globalists who put lead and various other components of the periodic table of elements in our water supply. Well, they put twice as much where I come from, because that would only explain the antics that happened around town. When I was in high school, instead of forcing you to fight, people would gaslight you into doing the Charlie Brown sad walk. So you see people walking around like this with their head down. And needless to say, they didn't like me very much. But I didn't walk like that. What are they gonna do? Fight me? Well, anyways, they didn't like me so much that when I applied for colleges, I applied for multiple in-state colleges, and well, Purdue was one of them, but as you know, they don't send the letter out until January, but I didn't know that. And okay. And so when I got to October, I got all my letters back, but I didn't get Purdue. I told people, hey guys, I'm probably not going to Purdue. I didn't get the letter. So a bunch of people who didn't like me applied to Purdue in hopes that I wouldn't be there. Well, anyways, I go to class here. Why do I have some classes? One of my classes is bowling. That's as exciting as you can imagine. Gee, Doug, that's a spare. I'm also taking a class called COM 332, also known as Media and Studio Production. Boy, is that class miserable. If you want to imagine what that class is like, I want you to imagine that you're making something for TV. And that's it. There's another class I'm in where I had to staple something. So I go up to the stapler.
Oh.
I'm walking up to it. The stapler. And I click. A no staple comes out, and that's when the professor tells me there's no staplers in that stapler. Well, thanks, Doc. Now we know.